Concentrate with me for a few minutes, can you? No, I can't blame you. We're a nation of distractibles. This was one of those weeks when even if I went to my study desk space, I could not spend 5 minutes in front of my computer thinking creative, deep, or even pragmatic thoughts without some kind of interruption. You know too well what we're talking about. The text that needs to be answered immediately, and for another 15 minutes, a bleep or a bloop from the computer, the antivirus software not up to date, is it ever up to date? Email, ping, pong, email times 100 times, wanting your business, your purchase, your opinions, your credit card information. It seemingly never ends. Now, let's throw medical school into the mix. How on earth in 2025 are you or we supposed to think? Stay with me here. Hello, I'm Dr. Chad Brands. In my career spanning 3 decades, I've had unique privileged opportunities as a physician leader in patient care, education, scholarship, and research, and have served as the program director within several med schools, advising thousands of med students across many specialties on how to succeed, not just in school, med school, but in life. Today, we're looking at how to curb these distractions that can damper your med school experience, if not really pull you off track. First, we need to rethink how we can approach our work. Let's call them the approachables. Practical, personal strategies and ways to tackle challenges. The beauty of the word ables is that each of us has the ability to overcome hurdles, no matter what their size. Even though you're just starting medical school, now's the time to build work habits. Fast forward 20 years. Imagine being a fully licensed doctor, juggling soap notes, patient charts, procedures, OR schedules, prescriptions, emergency cases. The life of a medical practitioner, the physician, no matter what your specialty is going to be, is chaos. Not even controlled chaos, uncontrolled most days. And that's why establishing your rhythm of work early in your career, even as a young student doctor, is key. You can start practicing that rhythm today. Think place and then space in that order. First things first, find your place. In the field, it's easy. You're in the zone, the patient's in front of you, your colleagues are right there, and there's an urgency and a singular goal, even with patient resuscitation. But step outside the clinic or the hospital hallways, and now there's a million gazillion things vying for your attention. So, while you're still in medical school, now's the time to figure out what you need from your space. As a med student, part of your journey to success, current to future, is figuring out where you can focus, think, and work creatively. That means identifying 1, maybe 2, or even 3 physical spaces, spots, where you can get into that zone. That zone, right? But before we dive into the requirements of this place, there's something important that you really need to know. Know thyself. Some of you might find that even the smallest distraction, whether it's kids, roommates, a passing car, a barking dog, your partner, is enough to pull you out of your flow. Others of you might be totally fine working in a bustling cafeteria with large windows and a flood of natural light. Maybe you thrive in that quiet, old-school library-like space with a desk, an outlet, and not much else. There's no one-size-fits-all, team. It's really about what works for you, and you're going to have to find it. Just because you had a conference room in college and it worked for you doesn't mean that that's going to work for you now. You're going to have to seek and find those new places. You're not in college anymore. This is high-stakes med school, and the work is completely, if not radically different. This place that you're setting up, wow, it's not just a casual study spot anymore. Think of it as your office, and set some office hours. Set it up right, and this becomes a preview to what your office could look like later in your medical career. It's time to get down to business. You're on the clock, and right now you're investing in yourself and your future as a medical professional just starting this journey. The library, the coffee shop, they're all the usual suspects, and for many students, they work just fine. However, for some of you, right, you're going to have to look outside the box. Don't be afraid to do that, right? Your best spot might be the local IKEA, the local park, a museum, a community center, or a church. Wherever you think is your best space, do yourself a favor and designate that space as your new office. For some of you, that study workspace might actually be at home. Working at home has its perks, right? And for those of you in that space, mostly to yourself, you're thinking, maybe not, this might be your first choice, picking 1 or 2 alternatives in case you need a change of scenery. But for many of us, home has just got so many distractibles to overcome. The pets, the kids, the internet service provider, they're 3 hours longer than they need to be. Some of you also need to fight for that quiet space at home. So start right now by working together with roommates and family to proactively communicate about setting up schedules and routines that respect and work for everyone. Maybe you're not paying for that coffee or muffin. Maybe you're not fighting over outlets at the local coffee shop, and you won't have to worry about the security of your laptop. But for many of us, as I learned again this week, home just has so many distractions to overcome. You can certainly find ways at home to focus, concentrate, think, and work creatively in a space where you can be in the zone and accomplish workflow without being continually or constantly distracted and interrupted. Work from home is something people seem to either love or hate. I remember many of my colleagues saying that during the pandemic, they just could not get much, if anything, done from home. Why? Just these constant interruptions, distractions were such a big set of challenges, making it nearly impossible for them to focus, much less stay on track with their work. It's a real struggle for some, a blessing for others. Once you've found your place, then you need to optimize your space. Your space. Our friends in neuroscience would quickly tell us that our human brains really don't multitask that well, and that multitasking actually increases stress levels while achieving less. Nobody's winning here. To stay on track, tame your phone and computer. Put your phone on airplane mode. Use a focus mode on Apple devices to block notifications. Try some apps like OneSec to block other apps or websites during study time. Have a clear visual of the time you've got to work with, along with the task that you're setting out to focus on, and this will really help boost your energy, your concentration, and allow some accountability for you to stay on track. When it comes to reading assignments or practicing flashcards or doing Q-Bank questions, it can be easy to lose track of time. To combat that, try using a Pomodoro-based app or a browser extension, set some alerts on your phone or smartwatch, or if you're more of an analog person, grab a time timer. Set a goal. Start the timer, get to work. Work with your friends, stay grounded. For those of us who need a bit more accountability, bring in the body doubles. Study with a classmate who shares your drive. Set up a standing appointment to study together. Review and discuss key concepts. Set a goal, start the timer, and get to work. Study with those classmates who share your drive. Set up a standing appointment to work together, review, bounce back and forth with those key concepts and make sure you understand them. They're going to keep you accountable so that you're not distracted going off and playing pickleball at a time when you're supposed to be scheduled to study. But you say, Dr. Brands, I don't have any friends yet in medical school. Give it some time. Do your part. Build connections. Find your people. Fear not. There are digital friends even out there who are willing to work alongside you and keep you accountable. Programs like FocusMate. Check it out, allowing you to block time with a Zoom session and a vetted stranger where you announce your goals at the beginning of the session, keep your camera on while you work, and discuss your progress at the end. Develop these daily rituals and habits as a student doctor. Habitual science, right? Recognizing that you can do these small tasks that contribute to your daily success. Setting up the rhythms, brewing that first cup of coffee, reading a chapter of a non-medical book in the morning, or doing that 15-minute run to your favorite playlist. It'll get you in the groove for what you got to do the rest of the day. Distractions are always going to be there. They're here right now when we're filming this video. You have to create your own calm amidst the chaos. Whether you remember to eat breakfastables, getting a call from the family about the important communicable, or the botanicables languishing and screaming on your front patio for water because you've been buried in a course or on a surgical service. The moment you sit down is the moment the distractables begin to pop up. For me, I had barely gone to my desk in my home office this week when the service technician rang the doorbell. Turns out, at least he thought we needed a new Cat 6 cable running through the yard, had to be dug up, and that was after 2 to 3 hours of an internet service provider technician trying to, quote, diagnose the issues. Maybe not as accurately as physicians diagnose patients. Even if you've had a great working setup, it doesn't end there. So my final thought for you, know that the distractables are inevitable, but when you come prepared to your place and can arrange your space strategically, you'll set yourself up for success. Get a beverage, grab that sweatshirt in case you need the layers, grab a protein-based snack, that screensaver, or a sticky note that says you're focused on the big picture and graduating from med school. You're going to need it when the studying days feel tough and rough. Now, tell me, what are your favorite places to study? What's helped you stay focused strategically in a place or space? Share this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to the channel, and come back next time. Until then, stay well, find that place, find that space, set it up for your success, and study well.
Got questions burning, doubts you can't ignore. Pull up a chair, friend, let's unlock the door. Doctors and the dean is here, wisdom on tap, no fear.